Good morning. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Red Dog. Yeah, I've been doing these for a few years. At Christmas time, I come in with animated singing characters. So this year, all of the characters are from the movie Grinch.
Oh, cool.
Or the storybook. So Jan objected to most of the songs, but I'm going to do that one anyway. So we'll do so. Cute.
It's cute once it's 150 times and it no longer is cute.
Yeah, that's for sure. A little history lesson for the people like on YouTube. Sometimes they think that, I don't know what they think actually, but that we might be a really large church, but no, we're fairly small, but we've been doing it for 22 years, and unlike a lot of churches that are kind of out somewhere amongst the fields or larger places, we're actually in a residential neighborhood. There's houses to the left of us and houses to the right of us and houses in front of us and back of us. So we're just in a little resident. This used to be the Red Cross building for the Hanford facility. And for those of you who don't know what Hanford is, you can look it up online. This is where we had the first commercial nuclear power plant back in the 40s. So I have pictures of myself at the controls. Very scary. So, but yeah, we've got our December catalog. Calendar, and Followers of the Way is Wednesday, and that's also National Cookie Day. So that's super important. We have a very, very small window before Christmas this year because Thanksgiving was so late. So run out and do your shopping. 3 weeks. Yeah, I know. Did anybody go out on Black Friday?
No.
You know what?
I shopped though.
Yeah, I know you probably did. Thank you, Amazon. Jan and I went out for the very, very first time ever together. It wasn't bad. We went to 4 stores, and we didn't go to the mall area, but we went to, all the big box, and they were not bad at all. The traffic was not abnormal and lots of checkers, and nice experience. We were pleasantly surprised. So I don't know what that was all about, but they said it was a good season start. But anyway, Ask Marilyn, the Parade magazine. I thought this was interesting. I kind of knew this, but I hadn't seen actual any kind of statistics. So people seem more anxious about their personal safety than they did a generation ago. But if you avoid crowds and you're at home in bed by midnight, are you still at increased risk? And again, this is Ask Marilyn. You're not in greater peril, regardless. According to the Pew Research Center, most Americans do believe that crime in the U.S. has gotten worse. But they're absolutely wrong. The fact is that over the last 25 years, the two most cited sources of criminal statistics, the FBI and the Bureau of Justice Statistics, indicate that the violent crime rate has fallen between 49 and 74%, depending on whether the crimes were reported to the police. That's a huge decrease.
Yes.
Huge. And I have seen numbers like this for a long, long time, and yet people are more scared now than they used to be.
It's because of the media.
I know it is. I know it's exactly right. It's because we have Facebook and all the other ones, and we have the news right in front of us. Of course, we think it's just happening down the street from us all the time. Yeah, it's not. So, well, it might be, but so. Anyway, more T-shirts, although these aren't T-shirts. These are little kids. What do they call those rompers that have the for infants, little infants? And onesies, yeah. This one on the front has a little skunk that says "Little Stinker," and on the back is the back of a skunk. And it said, "That awkward moment when mom smells your butt in front of your friends." And 50% mommy, 50% daddy equals 100% cute. And said, don't scare me, I poop easily.
That could be true of adults.
Yeah, I know, yeah, adults too. Yeah, you ought to see Janice if I scare her. I do it all the time accidentally. So, dead people don't scare her, but I scare her. So, and here's on a, oh. You don't poop easily? Okay, good. On a pillow, it's got, this is grandmother's pillow. When a child is born, so is a grandmother.
Yes. Cool.
So, nice. Guess I could take this out of my pocket.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
Okay. And more quotes from John Lennon and George Carlin, our patron saints.
Yay, George and John.
And John said, all you need is love. That's about it, really. And George, when will Jesus bring the pork chops? Remember that? This title offends all three major religions and even vegetarians. Silly. Okay, let's do this one. Things that make you go, as Arsenio Hall used to say. And of course, I read things and I go, well, I just did that. And then I go, well, no, I just read that. So now I think I had already done it. So I don't know which way I am. Mark Twain, if it were not best that we should all think alike, it is difference of opinion that makes horse races. And discovery consists of seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. A man's mind is hidden in his writings. Criticism brings it to light. Okay. And Oliver Wendell Holmes, 1841. The mind of a bigot is like the pupil of an eye. The more light you pour upon it, the more it will contract. Interesting. Yeah, I think that is. Well, it is mostly true, hopefully. So, and more new things. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Isn't that nice? And nothing is more highly to be prized than the value of a day.
value of a what?
A day.
Oh, okay.
The driest place on earth is Calama, a town in the Atacama Desert of northern Chile, which has no recorded rainfall.
Whoa.
That's dry.
Wow.
So. The zen of sarcasm. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is probably not for you.
Yeah.
Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach him how to fish and he will sit in a boat and drink beer all day. If you lend someone $20 and never see that person again, it was probably a wise investment.
Yeah.
Once a Baptist, always a Baptist. You want to, where'd she go? Well, there you are. You were right there. I saw you.
I didn't see any sense of going back to my seat when I was
Okay.
Once a Baptist, always a Baptist, then walk away.
Yeah.
You'll just
And
have to
there she
wait.
is.
You'll just have to wait.
I have been to a Baptist church. I've been to all churches that are. Everyone. I guess I tried them out just to see where I was going to end up.
No, put that one off the
Ended
list.
up here. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the baskets. The way that this drawing is going to work, we have, so far right now, we have 5 baskets. I do have some more stuff in the back I just didn't get a chance to get to, so there may be more baskets added as we go along. We're going to sell tickets every Sunday up until just before Christmas, and then we'll do the drawings. How it works is there's an envelope in front of each basket. I have them labeled too, so that we know which basket they're going to go to. You buy a raffle ticket or you buy several if you want more chances. And then you put your raffle ticket in the one with your name and telephone number in one of the envelopes. Or you can buy lots and put them in each envelope. And then you can come back next week and buy more and do it again. So I'm going to be out here out front before and a little bit after church. So if anybody didn't buy tickets before church, don't worry. And they're $1 each. They're really cool baskets, and if you don't want them for yourself, maybe you're trying to win them for a Christmas gift or something, because they're really cool. So if you had a chance later, we're going to leave them sitting up here until we start raffling them. So Thanksgiving, I just wanted to do a really quick shout out to Thanksgiving. It was absolutely wonderful.
It was fun.
The food was delicious. The company was wonderful, and it was just a fun time.
Cookies, well,
Pies,
great.
cakes, cookies. We just did the turkey.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else I'm missing? No. Okay, we're good.
Okay. This actually, all my jokes that I do come from you all. So don't ever criticize any of them I do, because they come from you. So. This one actually was back in 2005 from someone who used to attend from AOL. Actually, it actually says America Online, no AOL. So, John Smith was the only Protestant to move into a large Catholic neighborhood. On the first day of Lent, John was outside grilling a big juicy steak on his grill. Meanwhile, all of his neighbors were eating cold tuna fish for supper. This went on each Friday of Lent. On the last Friday of Lent, the neighborhood men got together, decided that something had to be done about John. He was tempting them to eat meat each Friday of Lent, and they couldn't take it anymore. They decided to try and convert John to Catholic. They went over and talked to him, and were so happy that he decided to join all of his neighbors and become a Catholic. They took him to church. The priest sprinkled some water over him and said, "You were born a Baptist, you were raised a Baptist, and now you're a Catholic." The men were so relieved. Now their biggest Lenten temptation was resolved. The next year, Lenten season rolled around. The first Friday of Lent came.
You don't give up? Let's not give up. Let's not. Works every time. I turn around the other direction, it won't work. I didn't get to see your dog. You'll have to do that one again. Phil. Good morning. Hey, you got a handout. I don't have to do any work today. Read your handout. We're done. That's it. We're good. I have to laugh. Did a handout. Sandra always asks, "Do you have a handout on that? Do you have a handout on that?" I have a handout. No, not it. Let's hope it's not that nasty flu going around. There's some nasty flu going around. And I'm just so excited you're here. It's snowing outside, and you're here anyway. If I were you, I'd have stayed home in bed. Don't you love it? I love it. So, got some interesting news this week. A friend of mine had to go south. I don't know. Is this making noise? It's making noise. Sorry. Her dad had a stroke, so she ran down to southern area to be with him. He goes down south where it's warmer, to spend his winters. She gets down there. This guy had gone through 2 rounds of cancer treatment, and he just had a knee replacement, and he attempted suicide. And so she's heartbroken. The acetaminophen, whatever all he did to remove himself from this plane, it didn't work, but it did manage to damage his liver pretty bad. So he's getting better every day, but they still have him on suicide watch. And as soon as he finishes the physical hospital, he's going to go to a hospital where they'll give him some mental rehab, apparently. So all that to say that this time of year is tough emotionally for people. And there you are. And yes, I have a handout. It's on the back table. Make sure she gets a handout. She's celebrating. All right. My day is complete. I'm amusing. I amuse myself anyway. Anyway, this time of year is really hard on us. We either have family that we don't fit in really well with, and that's a distress, that's a stressor, or we don't have family, or we do have family and we don't get along well. Anyway, it's a rare situation where you have family and everybody gets along and it's all wonderful and lovely. The rest of us struggle with family things. And then, of course, there's always the issue of having enough money to buy enough stuff, to, all that frantic stuff. There's a lot of planning and figuring things. Anyway, it's a really stressful time for a lot of us. And a lot of us have our own story about Christmas. And I'm not talking about the Christmas story, I'm talking about our own Christmas story. Like, I never get anything I like. That's a Christmas story. Or, I'll never forget the time I really wanted this keyboard, and Phil got me one for Christmas. I was so excited. Then I realized I really just don't have the talent for this thing. It was a beautiful gift. It was a perfect gift, but so anyway, even when we get what we want, it's not always what we think we need. Anyway, so we all have a Christmas story we tell ourselves, and when we get stuck on our story and tell the same thing over and over and over again, then we set ourselves up for a lot of disappointment, hurt, and sorrow. Do we not? And I know that there is either someone in this room or someone tuning in that is considering suicide. And here's my message to you. Been there, almost done that. Here's my message to you. Suicide is this beautiful gift of awareness where your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual form are saying, I can't do it anymore. And we usually take that and go, well, then I need to take myself out. No. What it's really telling you is that the tools you're using ain't working. The coping mechanisms that you have utilized, maybe your folks used them just fine. Maybe your friends are using the same tools just fine. But they're not leaving you or allowing you to live an authentic, vibrant life. And so you're getting this feedback from all aspects of your being saying, I can't take it anymore, I can't do it anymore. It's not saying take yourself out, it's saying find new tools. Find new tools. Because the tools that you are currently using aren't effective for you, and they're not blessing your life. No shame, no blame. Let's just get some new tools, shall we? I've got it on your handout, YouTube. If you want a handout, text me. Or Janice Lynch. Janice@janicelynch.com. Email me. I got you. Matthew 7:7. Ask and you shall receive. Oh my gosh, this is a powerful little verse here. Oh my goodness, there's so much good stuff in this. I'm sorry, get a little excited about the Bible. Apologize, it's just a thing I do. Verse 7, chapter 7, Matthew, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, or to him who knocks it shall be opened. Right? We know that, but do you know that? And here's the thing, if we're struggling with having a vibrant, brilliant, joyful life, ask for help. Ask for help. And what's funny is that could just be as simple as, oh God, there's got to be a better way. You just asked. I'm here, sitting up here, sharing this because somebody said, oh God, there's got to be a better way. I need some help with this. I don't know what to do. Right? May have been you. I don't know. So here's the deal. Ask, and it's given. It's given, it's provided, it's offered, it's presented, it's revealed, it's given. We got to ask. We don't ask. We just assume that this is terrible, it's never going to be different, and it's the end of it. No, we don't. We don't have to have that assumption. We can think a new thought, can we not? Of course we can. Have you ever changed your mind before? How many people have been married more than once? You changed your mind. Seek. That's the active looking for. It's the discovery process. It's the exploring process. And if you seek, you're going to find. That means it will be recovered. If you ever lost something, it'll be recovered. If you lost a sense of value, that can be recovered. If you lost a sense of worthy, that can be recovered. It'll be shown to you. It'll be discovered and explored. That's an active looking. It's not just, oh, there's nothing out here for me. It's look for it. Look. Then knock. This is activate, put into practice, do the deal. Do the deal. And when that happens, then the doors are opened. That means blocks are removed. If there's something blocking you from being happy, ask, seek, knock, it will be removed. It will. It is a spiritual law. It's a law. It just will happen. Trust the process. Also, with that opening is initiated and launched. And whoever receives, you'll be blessed. Blessings are available to you. Now, I've also listed some suggested tools. Some of you have other tools you use. Most of the time when we're in a slump, we don't use our tools. We just pout. I had a bad day on Monday. I don't know if I was just missing my dog. My dog passed away recently. And she was 13 years with this puppy. She was quite the thing. And I just had a bad day. Did some crying. Did I use a tool? No. Why didn't I use a tool? Because I was shut down, locked down, and I didn't ask, I wasn't open. We get to, but how long are we going to choose to do that? When I caught myself, of course it took me nearly the whole darn day, when I caught myself, I was like, oh, I didn't even read my little prayer book. I didn't read any spiritual book. I didn't do any of it. I just felt terrible. What a waste of time. What a waste of day. I had other options. And the reason we have tools, the reason we use tools is because the tools will help us discover the options. And just the very sheer fact of once I got to the place of, I'm just not feeling very good. Oh, duh, I could pray about that. Who knew, right? Prayer. Well, and prayer doesn't have to be fancy. Oh, God, that's a prayer. God hears that. God gets that. And God has already sent an information and encouragement your way. But we stop there. We forget it's important to seek, knock, and receive. Those are the other parts of the coin, the other parts of the thing. So there's some tools I want to share with you. When I was going through severe depression, I didn't have these tools. And I had to learn some tools. And then when I discovered these guys, it was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I wish I'd had it. Because if I'd had that tool, I could have used it. Lord willing, I could have used it. The prayer I have today is, dear God, help me use my tools. Because it's so easy to think that I'm stuck and I can't and I don't and there's nothing. That's human nature. We do that. But I don't have to stay stuck. And I'm hopeful that something will trigger within me to go, oh, the V8 moment. I forgot. I could do that. So this is just a memory jog here. I have some tools here. Maybe you have other tools that you use that you like better. Let me know. I'll share them next time. Or maybe you could share them. First one I'm offering for you is called the MIR method, M-I-R method. It means mental and intuitive reset. Could we use that or what? Okay, look it up. I don't have any financial attachments to any of these guys, but look it up. There's some really interesting information here. And there's a series of 9 things that you say, and as you're saying them, you rub the back of your hand. And this is supposed to send information back to your brain. And so there's 3 that are suggested that you do first, and you do that for a series of days. Look it up, read it up, it's good. Seek, do your own seeking. I'm not going to just hand it to you. But anyway, we're going to do the first one. So there's 3 of these. Optimize acidity. Say it out loud. Optimize acidity. Say it 3 times. Optimize acidity. Optimize acidity. Okay, so the body has acids and alkalines and all that stuff. This optimizes it so that our body can function as best it can, right? The next one is detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. Detox all toxicity. And then the third one is supplement all shortages. Say that. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Supplement all shortages. Now the rest of them are really wonderful. And she suggests that you do them, the creator of this, suggests that you do them after you've done this for a series of days, just a couple of times a day for a few days. Then you can add the others. I thought, I'll just add them all. I'll just do them all. I was exhausted and wiped out because it really works. There's some real powerful stuff going on that your subconscious just will do in your behalf. It's your intent. So this activates your intent, and it gives you a formula to do that. So it gave you 3, the top 3. If you don't know anything else, these are really good. These will help you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually get balanced, get clear. That's really important. Fun stuff. Think you'll look at that? I hope you do, because it's really powerful stuff. Because when we're emotionally messed up and stuck, getting clear is optimal. It's absolutely imperative. Absolutely imperative. Another suggested tool is the emotion code. How many people have done the emotion code, know what the emotion code is? Okay, we have a group that meets here one Monday a month. Powerful group. And they do the emotion code. And the emotion code is clearing blocked emotions. Not just yours, but things that you've inherited. If you grew up in a household where whining and misery was common, you probably have absorbed a lot of that. We do. So the emotion code allows you to release and clear out stuff that's not even yours. Why are you carrying it around? Because you can. Until you choose not to. And then we do something different, right? So the emotion code uses a magnet, and you sweep it across this main meridian, and you say, I hereby release the trapped emotion of. And the books and all the readings that you can do on that and YouTube stuff will, and as well as a class that attends here once a month, will help you discern which emotions are ready to be released. And will allow you to unlock the doors that are closed to you. They're blocked. So clear that stuff out. We get to do that. Next one is Silva Method of Mind Control. The Silva Method of Mind Control. This is moving you into a higher state of mind through meditation and alpha waves, tapping into the alpha waves. There's a couple of really cool things on YouTube where you can listen to guided meditations that help you do that. They have a process where you can count from 50 down to 1. And it's about, and as you go down, you get into a higher level of mind because you're counting, you're focusing on something, and you're allowing your mind to reset itself. And when we get into that higher state of mind, then we're in a place where we can see our purpose. And when we're busy working our purpose, living our purpose, fulfilling our destiny, we're in a higher state of mind. And the lower state of mind of depression and sorrow and distress is harder to come by. We move out of that. So when we find ourselves in that lower state of mind, we have tools and methodology by which we can raise our vibrations, raise our awareness, get into that expanded awareness. And when we do that, we activate within us compassion. And we can change the world. We can change the world. The Sedona Method. That's about letting go as best you can for now. So maybe there was trauma, and you're letting go as best you can for now. And when we're in that state of being, we're in that state of openness. And in that state of openness, we can be in a place of neutral and not stuck and not blocked. Check that out. EFT tapping. How many people do tapping? Quite a few people do tapping. Tapping is a wonderful methodology for acknowledging and then transforming our thoughts and feelings. The coolest thing about tapping, I think, is you can acknowledge what's there. I really don't feel very good. I'm not happy. Nothing's working right in my life. And I love and accept myself just the way I am. And then you tap on all that with through the tapping points. And then you can start to change that. Even though I don't see how things can get better, I'm willing to trust. Even though I'm struggling right now, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm not where I want to be, I know that something better is coming. Even though, do you see what I'm saying? So it takes where we are, allows that, acknowledges that, and then helps us transform that. Because if we go, la, 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 everything's just fine, everything's perfect, that doesn't work either. That's not living an authentic life. And it's not living that authentic life that causes us such distress. So tools are really, really important. Then there's some practices that I would encourage you to do. Eat better, healthier. Junk food doesn't feed us well. A lot of times the chemicals that go into a lot of heavily processed foods generate mental chatter. We talked about mental chatter last week and how to clear mental chatter. Sometimes it's the food we eat. Phil and I had gone camping with some friends, And on the way home, we stopped this little drive-in restaurant kind of thing to get an ice cream. I don't remember what kind of ice cream I got, but when we got back in the car after having ice cream, all of a sudden had this horrible mental reaction to it. I don't know if it was the food coloring they used or whatever, but I found myself traumatized by everything. There was a guy standing by the side of the road, and he had his arm in a cast, and a dog standing there. Oh my God, the dog's going to run out into the street and get killed. No, just relax, chill out. But for hours, we had like a 3-hour ride home, and for most of that time, I was near hysteria. And I had to write it out because I knew it wasn't real. It was a mental distortion caused by a chemical reaction in my body. But if you think that's real, if you think the chatter that's going on in your head is real, then you're going to think it's true. Oh my gosh, the world is terrible, it's awful, and everything's happening. And we buy into that because it feels so real. It's chemically induced crap. So treat your body well, because it'll treat your brain well. And it'll treat your feelings well, treat your emotions well. So you don't have tools to know how to cook well? Tap on that. Do some emotion code on that. Do some Silva on that. Do some Silva Method on that. Do some mirror method on that. Supplement all shortages, right? Now you got some tools that will help you with whatever you're struggling with. You got some tools. Physical activity, stretch, walk, dance, move as best you can. Sitting and vegetating is not healthy. Now, we all like to do that, especially in the wintertime. I think hibernation is part of our nature, but it's not good for a vibrant, joyful life. Move around a little bit. It's good for you. Even if it's just walking from one room to the next. But if you can get out in nature, that's even better. Bundle up. God gave you a coat for a reason. Oh, he didn't. You did it yourself. Create and utilize connections. Connections are so important. They've done so many studies that show that when people have connections and have a tribe, I didn't say family because sometimes family is weird. When you have a tribe of people that are like-minded, you flourish. You do better. Well, here's the thing. If we're negative, we will create negative tribes. And you'll sit around and play Ain't It Awful? Have you ever played Ain't It Awful? Oh, this horrible thing just happened. Oh, ain't it awful? And you know, here's a terrible thing happened to me. Oh, ain't it awful? And then you ain't it awful yourselves, and then you go home. That's whatever. Is that a holiday game? I think a lot of people make it a holiday game. But the love and light that you are is begging for expression. So find your tribe and connect with them. Connect with them. And that's why you're here, right? Because this is your tribe. And we connect on this positive level. Because if we're left to our own brain can tell us stupid stuff. And we believe it. And it's not the truth. It's just stuff. So create those connections. Utilize them. Create and utilize spiritual connections. Pray. Read spiritual writings. Notice and appreciate nature. There's a ton of spiritual writings on the Divine Fellowship website, thedivinefellowship.com. You can find that. And there's, how many years have I been doing blogs? There's stuff back there, years of stuff on there. So read some stuff. dig into the good book. If you don't have a verse for the good book that's encouraging or positive, Janice@janicelynch.com. Ask and you shall receive. I will send you a list of positive, encouraging Bible verses. Because here's the thing. Sometimes if we're in a dark, gloomy mood, and we're going to find verses that are going to activate that, because what you seek, you'll find. If we're looking for negativity, even in the good book, you're going to find it. You're going to find some hard words there. They're not for you. They're not writing to you. Stop it. Read the stuff that's applicable to you. Not that I got a little carried away there. See, I love that book. I love it. But I think people misuse it, and they beat themselves up with it, and they beat other people up with it, and it's just